What's up everybody, it's Matt from Peter Glenn, and in this video we're going to show you the Burton lineup of step-on boots and try to help you figure out which ones are going to be best for you and your riding style. Let's check this out. Okay, so when it comes to the step-on binding system, we need to have step-on specific boots. And there's definitely a few boots in the lineup, and just like with regular snowboard boots, if you spend more, you get more, but it doesn't mean that this boot is any better than this boot. There definitely is a certain person that's for each one of these boots. Starting out with the Ruler for men and the Limelight for women, both have a single BOA system on them, so you get one crank that goes all the way down the boot, so you're tightening the top and the bottom all together. They also have the Imprint 2 liner, which is nice because it's still heat moldable, still has a nice cuff, all the support. And these are going to be the softest boots in the lineup. They're not super soft, a little bit more on the medium side of things, but they are going to be more for those beginner riders, getting into those intermediates. And even if you're an advanced rider and you just like to ride park all the time, you might actually like a pair of these things because the step-on system is a very quick reacting binding system in general. So having that softer boot could benefit you if you're just playing around on the rails and the little jumps all day. Okay, and then jumping up to the Swath for men and the Ritual for women, we're definitely getting a few upgrades coming from the Limelight and the Ruler. We're getting a woven upper on this thing, so the fit on this boot is crazy good. Literally, it's not panels that have been cut out of material. They're pieces that have been woven around the outside of the foot, so you do get a really good fit out of this boot. Also, you'll notice it is a double BOA, so you are getting a BOA for the lower half and a BOA for the upper half, so you get a little bit more customization. And then on the inside, they're doing the Imprint 3 liner, so definitely stepping it up a little bit. And the flex on this thing is a little bit more towards the medium, a little bit stiffer than the Ruler kind of side of things. It's gonna be a little bit more for those intermediate to advanced riders. These are definitely boots that are not too stiff to ride in the park, and they're not too soft to ride in the powder. Okay, and then jumping up from the Swath and the Ritual to the Photon and the Felix. I always say these are kind of the meat and potato boots when it comes to step-on. We still have a double BOA on this one, but it's a little different. The BOA on the tongue does the entire front of the boot, and then the second BOA is the strap across your ankle, so you can really focus that on the ankle and push your heel back and down into the boot. We're sticking with that Imprint 3 liner, but the shell of this boot does make it a little bit stiffer overall. So this does have a little bit of a jump up from the Swath and the Ritual, but you can loosen that top up if you want to have a little bit softer feel. Also on the bottom of these boots, they're doing the Vibram outsole, so very durable. You definitely get a little bit more grip if this is something that you're going to be doing a little bit of hiking in, if you're using the Burton Step On split board binding, or even if you're just walking around in the snow in general, you get a lot more grip. And with the sturdiness of this boot, this is going to be something that's going to work well with just about any of the bindings, even all the way up to the X. I always tell people, if you're not a beginner and you want to get into the step-on and you don't know what boot to get, just go with this boot. You can't go wrong. All right, and then jumping up to the men's Ion. This is the stiffest step-on boot in the lineup. And this one is pretty rad because it does have that Vibram outsole, so you get all of that grip. You still have that BOA strap across your ankle, but the super cool thing about this is instead of having a single BOA on the tongue, we have 2 speed zone systems. So this boot actually has 3 lacing zones, which is amazing. You can lace the bottom, you can lace the top exactly where you want it, and then you can crank your ankle in with this ankle strap. And the nice thing with having that total customization is that I did say that this is a stiffer boot. It's not super stiff, but it definitely is the stiffest boot in the step-on lineup. But again, with that system, you can fully customize this thing. If you want it to have a little bit softer, easier feel, you can loosen up the top part of the boot and then crank the ankle down. You can literally get this thing exactly where you want it to be, so you can have a stiff feel or you can have a little bit more towards that medium feel. And then on top of all of that, they are doing the Life liner just like in the standard Ion. This is basically a liner that's made out of materials that are going to last a long time. Usually boots do break down over the years and the more you use them, but this liner really helps this boot outlast just about any other boot in the market. And obviously we talked about all of that. This is more for those advanced riders. This will drive any of the bindings in the lineup, all the way from the regular Reflex all the way up to the X. And there definitely is a little bit of a price jump from the Photon up to this boot, and I always tell people if you don't know what boot to get, just get the Photon. But if you got a couple extra bucks to spend, You really can't hurt getting a hold of these things to have all of that customization and have all of that comfort and have a boot that's gonna last you a long, long time. All right, so hopefully that helped you out a little bit if you can't figure out exactly which boot. And as you can see, again, you spend more, you get more, but it doesn't mean that it's better. If you are more of a beginner rider, you want to be a little bit more down here. If you are a little bit more of an advanced rider and you want to ride some of those higher end bindings, especially all the way up to the X, you're going to want to be down this way a little bit more. But if you have any questions around what we talked about in the video, definitely leave some comments down below. We're on there every single day trying to answer your questions. We want to make sure we can get you into some rad gear, but most importantly, we want to make sure it's going to fit you and it's going to fit your specific riding style. Also make sure to like, subscribe, and definitely get that notification bell on too so you can find out when all the new videos drop. And head on over to peterglenn.com, grab yourself a pair of step-on boots, pair them up with a pair of step-on bindings, and get out and ride. Because any day of riding is a good day of riding.